Hello, people of the internet, and welcome to another review here on Pez of the Mind. I am James Phoenix. He's Chris the Mole,
Oh,
and we are here today to talk about the recently released Netflix live-action adaptation of the hit manga and anime Bleach.
yep.
I'll say for the record that I have not seen anything Bleach other than knowing it existed. I have never been involved in the Bleach franchise before, so I was coming into this blind.
But you will be next year.
I will be.
I assumed you might buy Jump Force.
I might at least rent it. I don't know if I'll buy it, but I'll at least rent it.
I thought you might buy it because it's a really fun, casual beat 'em up thing with shitload of manga and anime. Well, mainly manga, obviously by its name, but manga
Yeah,
characters in there, from Dragon Ball Z to Bleach, and now Yu-Gi-Oh's in there.
it is.
So some people complaining that Yu-Gi was in there, and I'm like, why? He was in the manga weekly. Who gives a
Yeah.
shit? And he's a big enough name because they're clearly trying to please the West at this point.
Yep.
But yeah, Bleach.
Indeed.
This is the substitute Soul Reaper arc, as
Okay.
they call it in manga and anime, which is basically season 1 is what this covers.
Okay.
But they change a few things up, obviously, but that's just what this is based on, is season 1. Which is cool.
Yep.
Season 1 to 3 makes one full story, and I absolutely love that. That's my favourite of Bleach.
Okay.
Some people prefer later on, but I'm like, no, I prefer 1 to 3. It's simple, it's to the point, it's a great arc, and it's just brilliant.
Fair enough.
Yep. And this is the story of Ichigo Kurosaki, who gets his powers from the Soul Reaper named Rukia, and then he has to go stop Hollows.
Yep.
Which is awesome.
Yep. And he eventually had to stop the grand something or other.
That's a Hollow, but yeah, it's.
I know it's a hollow. That's what I'm just saying. That's the big one.
The Grand Fisher.
Yeah, the Grand Fisher. That's the one.
Which killed his mother.
It did.
It's worth noting in the anime, at least, because I've seen more of the anime. I haven't really read the manga too much.
Mm-hmm.
But in the anime, that scene when he's a little kid and his mum drowns isn't placed there. It's placed like the episode Grand Fish is introduced, just to make him relevant for that episode, which is a small change this one did, is they put it sooner. And you know, like how Rukia gets all the information about how, oh, this hollow's important and there's all this lore behind it.
Yeah.
She doesn't really on the original stuff. She just gets told, oh, yeah, there's a hollow. And sometimes she'll mention it's a class, whatever, and go get it and something. But they don't really put as much emphasis on why it's important and what it's done in the human world. So that's a cool little change, and it works for a movie.
Fair enough. Yeah, I like the little purple thing they gave her all the information. That was cool.
All of Ichigo's friends are here. It's worth noting Chad and Orihime take a back seat. They actually have powers in the anime. But really, in the original anime, they weren't really, in my opinion, as important until season 2 and 3 anyway. Like, Chad gets this big thing on his arm. He's super powerful and super strong. Orihime's little bow that she has in her hair comes alive and fairies come out of it.
Interesting.
And like they shoot lasers, or they can make a shield, or they can heal people. That comes in super handy when people are injured.
I can imagine, yeah.
But in here, they were just in the background.
Yeah.
Yorio does appear. And I was like, sorry if I mispronounce any of these names. But yeah, Yorio is here. And he is all in his Quincy glory. He does have the scene from the manga and anime and stuff where he does the hollow challenge with Ichigo, where he sets off the bait and they all come. It is changed. Because at least in the manga, you get a giant, like, Menace Grande who appears. He's like a 50-foot tall hollow with a mask. They didn't really introduce him in this one.
Gotcha.
But that's because they cut down on how that was. There's still a couple of hollows, like the spider one and stuff, but what did you think of the stuff? Because I know you watched it.
I did. I thought it was really good. I liked the design of the hollows. I thought they did a good job with the CGI and making it look like legitimately threatening monsters that fit into this world. Um, overall, I think overall, I thought the special effects were really good. I like the basic plot line where he ends up gaining the Reaper powers unintentionally because he has to save himself and Rukia's life because they're almost eaten by a hollow. And so he ends up in the situation where he's got the powers that she's trying to train him, but if her brother and the guys that give the powers find out, she's going to get killed for giving her powers away because that's a no-no.
Yep. It's also worth noting when they go to the shop run by, I forgot what his actual name is. I just know it a couple of times in the dub they called him Hat and Clogs.
Yeah, I think it's Rukahara or something like that.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, Ukahara, I think it is. But yeah, he's cool. But
He was a great character.
also,
I like his hat.
yeah, that's the same hat and clogs and stuff that he wore in the actual stuff. But he's missing 4 characters.
Okay.
He has a cat, Yoroichi,
Mm-hmm.
that can talk
Oh.
and transform into a woman because she's a master fighter and took cat form.
Oh.
Because she's managed to learn shapeshifting, which is kind of cool. She's like, what was that hit show? She's like an Animorph, and which you totally need to check out the show. I believe it's on Netflix today. And also, he has 2 kids with him and an old man, but the kids are like way over the top. And the old man doesn't really do much besides control the kids, so they're not there.
Gotcha.
But I like that he's there. And I like he's a bit more serious in this one, but he's still funny and laid back, which is his role.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant. I'm not going to touch upon something else because I think that's going to happen next in the next movie. But also, Rukia's brother and Renji come back to try and get her, which was in the original. They fight in different location, and there's differences there. But overall, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a badass fight.
Like one change they did, which I actually approve of, is what's his name, Bakuya, who's Rukia's brother, basically.
Right.
I know I'm mispronouncing his name, but he's actually in the original. From the get-go, he's just all about, I need to capture her, I need to obey the law, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Then later on, sometimes he gets torn between duty and family.
Mm-hmm.
Once they decided to write more for him, this one introduces that little bit of a dynamic early. They don't focus on it too much. It's not overblown, but it's there early, so when they do it later on, it will make more sense, and I like that. They also have a great reference in there during one of the lines where they mention resolve, which comes into play later on. That's a line that was spoken later on, and it seems like this is going to give it more of a oomph.
Okay.
Also, Renji's sword is different, for people wondering. In the original, when he does the and it comes alive and he throws it down, instead of wrapping around him and throwing him, it goes right into his shoulder and digs straight down with all the blades and goes and then pulls up out of it. It's painful as hell. The reason they changed it for this, I feel, is it's cheaper CGI to wrap it around him, because then all you got to do is build a prop where it's wrapped around him and add the CGI to throw him. It's easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it looked cool and I liked it. I liked that fight.
Yeah, I was that sword was cool, but I couldn't help having it remind me of the shark sword from Power Rangers Samurai.
Also, this was out first.
I know.
And way cooler. But yeah. What the flash step's still in here, which looks cool. And the dialogue makes sense. I like the dialogue that they did. One thing that slightly bugged me, and I found amazing, the subtitles have most of the terminology used in the dub. Like Soul Reaper instead of Shimigami. And I believe, and obviously they call Chad instead of what he's actually saying.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Which I'm okay with that. That works for the dub and stuff. Then we get to Gigai, and they call it Fox Body? Rukia's body, where she has the fake body.
Oh, yeah.
But she says Gigai. In the dub, it's still called a Gigai. That is worth noting, because that just bugged me when I kept reading the subtitle. No, it's a fucking Gigai. She's saying Gigai. It's a Gigai. That's what I know it as. But it looked. But yeah, what did you think of the overall of the story and the journey and stuff?
I thought it was a good journey. I like how they. I was wondering where at first he became a Reaper, but he really didn't want it, didn't give a shit, and was just kind of doing what he had to do to get powerful to give the powers back. But then he got to the point where he really wanted to prove himself after he started figuring out that there was a personal connection going on, and then he got challenged by the Quincy guy, and he started taking it more seriously. He was like, "No, okay, I want you to actually train me. We're actually going to do this." And I go, he actually steps up to her brother and is like, "No, I will defeat the Grand. What do you call it?" And
Fisher.
but if the Grand Fisher, and if I do, you agree, you're gonna stop being a dick to your sister.
And he's called that because of that little law at the front.
Ah,
It's like a child. It lures people in and like he's fishing.
gotcha.
Which is cool. And yes, that was in the original too, where it turns into his mother. And it's like every Soul Reaper has one person they can't kill. And you're like, oh, it's so cool.
That is cool.
And his dad's pretty good in this too.
Yeah.
His dad's is similar to the anime. He's just toned back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the anime, when he attacks him when he walks in,
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't just do that. He attacks him, but he also does kicks and sometimes he'll jump out the upstairs window and foot drop kick him and be like, Ichigo, hello! Don't just kick him. It's kind of a thing they do. It's funny as hell. He doesn't miss. One complaint I had is his sisters.
Okay.
In the anime when I watched it, the more friendly of the two sisters has lighter browny blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was. And the other one has black hair and it's all striped down and stuff. But they look too similar on this. Whereas on the other one, you can tell them apart. They had the same hairstyle and everything.
Right.
I feel like they should have differentiated the hair a bit more.
That's fair.
Also, they added a burger place that they're hanging out on. Which
They
I
did.
That.
That bugs me. Like, what is a burger place? Okay, cool.
I mean, it makes sense. They have burger places in Japan, but
Yeah.
in the original one, they didn't hang out at a burger place.
Mm.
Also, one little change they did for people wondering that I fucking adore is Rukia trains him.
Yeah.
She fires the tennis balls at him, pew pew pew, and he has to dodge. And she's training him with swords and stuff. And I say that because even when I mentioned that to Simon, he was like, "Yes," because in the original, she doesn't train him. She teaches him a bit of stuff knowledge-wise, but everything he does is just instinct. And he just comes out and fights. But I feel like if he's fighting against people that the other ones can't handle, like the Grand Fisher and the other one, one of the trained Soul Reapers can't defeat him, but Ichigo can and stuff. You're like, you should have had some training. I like the fact he trained him on this. It makes it more personal.
I like how they were training and Chad and the other chick were watching him he's training with that new girl. Maybe he's going to be an action star.
Yep. And which I just thought that was a little change that they did, which is cool. It's one of those things I like the changes because they structured it like a movie, but at the same time, it's very true to what the original one was.
Yeah.
Which I like that.
Yeah, it worked well.
And we have various stuff through there. One little small touch they put in there, it's like a door. They all carry their swords the way they actually do. Like Renji carries his very differently to Ichigo, who does the boom, puts it on his shoulder, and I'm like, oh, when he did that, I was like, oh, he did the shoulder, and it just looks cool.
I also like how they went out of their way to have Rukia drop a line explaining why his sword was bigger than everybody else's swords.
Yep. They well, that one's in the original one too, because they do mention, whoa, his sheer spiritual pressure. Look at the size of his Zanpakuto toe. Because that does come into play later on in the series. One thing is later on in the other when they go to the Soul Society, he does fight Bakuyo again. And he gets Bonkai. And everyone that guy's just Ruki's brother's just completely pissed off by his Bonkai. Because Bonkais are giant. They're huge. They're monstrous in size. Like his is like 1,000 swords that surrounds the person. Ichigo's is like a trench coat and a really thin sword. Like his Zanpakuto is huge when it shouldn't be. His Bonkai is tiny when it shouldn't be. Like as he mentioned, you're just spitting on all our traditions. Like, because obviously he's true to the traditions.
Yeah.
But the reason Ichigo's Bankai's like that is because it's so small, because it makes him just incredibly fast to the point it disappears when he moves and then can go and just slice through someone. You're like, oh my god, that's so cool.
Nice.
But yeah,
I kind of expected to pull out some kind of a power after what's Renji the
Renji.
Yeah, Renji. After Renji did that thing with the sword and knocked down, and then he got up and he did this badass pose with the sword and the fire. I thought he was gonna get some kind of crazy sword mode and fight back against him, but he didn't.
No, yeah, this is based on the first season, and what happened in the first one, they left him for dead. Then he goes to the Soul Society, which apparently the person who writes this has said will be season 2, or will be the second movie.
Okay.
They go to the Soul Society and they find out when they were on Earth, there's actually something in place which stops them using their full power. So they weren't even using their full power against him.
Wow.
And he trains and goes all out, and it's an incredible battle. Like, Renji's way more powerful in the Soul Society, and Ichigo manages to fucking kill him. Then he goes against that guy who he just couldn't touch in this one, and has an epic fight with him, which is cool.
Nice.
Like, Soul Society, I hope it's on this one, introduces the Hollow Mask, which is just fantastic. I love the Hollow Mask. You'll find out more about that, but it's awesome. But
Okay.
yeah, this is really tight together. One thing they did, which I wasn't too liking, but I also did like at the same time, I'm on the fence with, is at the end. He kept getting up and then getting knocked back down way too many times. In the manga, he does it like once and then just gets taken out.
Yeah, and I was thinking like he got like
This one he kept getting up and then gets taken out. Gets up, taken out, gets up, taken out, and it's like, oh my god, but I like the fact they did that, and Renji's just like, he just won't quit.
Yeah.
Like, he's actually impressed by him, which gives it more of a movie scope, and I like that.
And
But at the same time, I wish they hadn't done it as much as they did.
I didn't quite understand how the brother was hitting all those slashes, yet there didn't seem to be all that many visible wounds on Ichigo's body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, obviously that's the special effects on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The other thing that kind of confused me a little bit about, okay, when Ichigo turns into the Reaper or whatever, like, is that another form? Because I know the girl,
Rukia.
Yeah, when Rukia put like the glove and like knocked him out of his own body, I didn't quite understand that.
Oh, it's because, like she mentions, he's in spirit form. Because the reason, like, when she first appears and she mentions to him, "You can see me," is because they're in a spiritual plane, like ghosts and stuff. So not all humans can see him. Therefore, she has to knock him out of his body, which I did love that. Knocks him out of his body, and then he turns into when he's like in his spirit form, which is cool.
Spirit form that shouldn't even not been able to bleed.
No, because he's still obviously in the spirit form. They can still bleed, and how they've done their world, they can still do that.
Okay.
Which is cool because, but yeah, one thing they did change as well for people wondering: there's no Cone. And I say that Jim doesn't know who Cone is. I don't think. Cone, basically, you know, like when she gets like the Gigai and stuff, she goes to the Hat and Clogs store and she gets like a little pill that turns out to be a mod soul. Puts in Ichigo's body, so that way he can transform without the glove. He pops that in and he comes out and the soul takes over his body. So he's not just unconscious places. Turns out that soul is corrupted because it's a mod soul. He takes it out, finds out you can put it in any mouth, and pops in a teddy bear because he wants him to suffer for what the hell he's done to his body. Because the guy's kind of a dick. The soul's kind of a dick. And he puts him in a teddy bear, and it's amazing. But they got rid of that because, okay, that's fair. There wasn't enough time to cram that in a movie.
Yeah.
But I liked the glove, and it's the actual glove. She goes, just knocks him out.
Yeah, that was good.
I also liked that they did it a little differently in this one, but I did like, she's like, "Oh, Ichigo, come have a look at this." And he looks it down at the book. "If you make a scene, I will kill you." And he's like, "Oh." Yeah. I like that. Like, one other little difference is there's more of a connection between him and Orihime. In the manga, I believe, and in the anime, I believe, at the very end, he gets together with Orihime. But the guy said from the get-go he wasn't going to do couples and stuff, so there's not really, like, Ichigo doesn't really seem romantically involved with her at the beginning.
Mm.
To the point a lot of people wanted him to be romantically involved with Rukia, who ends up with Renji.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I totally shipped Ichigo and Rukia. But no, he ends up with Orihime. But, so therefore, so it doesn't come out of nowhere. There's more of a connection here. Like, they can go into that well later on or earlier in a movie, and it works.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they're going to adapt all of the anime and manga into this. Cause it's like 16, 17 seasons. I don't think they're going to do that many.
No, probably not.
But if we can get to the end of the Soul Society arc, that would be cool. And maybe one afterwards.
Yeah. I was really sad they killed off the Quincy guy, but then he was alive at the end, and I'm like, oh, he's back. Cool.
Yeah, they didn't kill him. Because when they went to attack him, if you remember, they went to go and finish him. They like finish him, kill him, and then Ichigo got involved and jumped in front of him to start the fight.
Right, but I still think a sword through the chest is not easy to survive.
He's got more spiritual pressure, so therefore he's gonna heal more.
That's true.
He's not exactly a normal human.
No, I like it. I like his bow.
But that's one thing they did differently on this, is the Quincy actually attacks the hell out of Renji in the alleyway and stuff, and they introduce him differently, but they still got the connection of Quincy's hates Soul Reapers.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant, and I love that connection. I've always enjoyed that. But the effects are cool when he gets the bow.
Yeah, that's like his tiny little thing, and he just pulls it and it forms in a giant bow, just lobbing arrows. It's great.
Yep, and yeah, that's what this movie is. It feels very much like the original source material. They made some changes to make it a movie, but it's brilliant. It's worth watching. It's on Netflix. I'm hoping it gets a second one. And I'll give it my rating. I'm gonna give it 2 thumbs up because watching it, I was just like, oh my god, yes, this is amazing. This is what I wanted it to be. Because there's been other movies where they, and even Japanese ones, before people mention Western ones, where they've adapted manga or anime into a movie and they cut back on so much of the original that they're not as enjoyable. This is one that just nails everything right. One little peeve that I mentioned to Jim is there's lots of dubs on there on Netflix. None of them are English. Like there's French and Spanish and stuff, but it's made by Warner Brothers, so I thought, or at least published by Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
I thought Warner Brothers would have made an English dub. Like if they'd got the dub cast back, like Johnny Young Bosch as Ichigo, it'd be amazing.
That would work.
Like if I could hear the dub voices coming from this, I'd be in heaven.
That'd be good.
But like I said, as it was, I don't normally like subtitle stuff, as Jim knows. Like we went to watch the Kamen Rider. It's on Amazon. Season 2 is available now at that.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't get into it. This, like from the get go, I'm like, yes, yes, it's Bleach. I'm just watching it. It's definitely Bleach. So yeah, I give it 2 thumbs up.
Was that the first time we did Full Metal Alchemist too, and that worked too.
As I mentioned to you, Joanna, I didn't like that film.
Oh, okay.
I found it boring and some of the costumes too cosplay looking. Like this one gets the balance right where they look like the movie or they look like the original stuff, but they make some changes enough that it looks like just a normal movie costume.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my rating.
Yeah. I mean, if I was gonna, I grade this, not knowing the source material, I still found it a really enjoyable movie, and I think it was a great adventure. So I'd certainly give this an 80 to 85. It's definitely a really enjoyable movie. I think that if there was something to watch, it's a fun little, and you know, my reading subtitles, it's a fun little adventure. And you might get interested in checking out Bleach, checking out the anime or the manga afterward, and that's always a good thing. So definitely give it a shot if you're looking for something to watch, and you don't want subtitles.
I will say seasons 1 to 3 are available on Netflix, at least here.
Nice.
Of the original manga and stuff, which is cool, and they do tell one complete story. Yeah, there's a little bit of a thing afterwards to continue it, but they tell a good story, and people should check them out. But
yeah,
I've got, and I'll admit, I've bought nearly all the DVDs of this. I got like all the way up to season 9 or 10 on DVD. And which then I stopped buying it for a while. Now there's more out, so I'll go pick them up soon.
Nice. All right. Well, this has been a look at Bleach. Mole, thank you for joining me.
A pleasure.
And we will see you all next weekend on Sunday when we will be doing the final countdown of the top 5 hero pets. So stay tuned for that. And of course, More great stuff coming next month.
Yep.
See you then.